Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're going to be doing a Nunu jungle video here. Okay, so first up, I would say you need to be... Ooh. I would definitely start Consume. Okay. I mean, this might be some next level Nunu stuff. I was under the impression that you start Q and you take a buff first. Ideally one of their buffs, if you can get away with it. Depending on your elo bracket, sometimes it's easier to steal or not steal. So I usually try to steal topside. I mean, you did take that pretty safely. Full disclosure for people watching, I'm not a jungle main. I do play Nunu sometimes, so like my knowledge of specific early clears and things like that could potentially be a little off, you know, in the first few minutes as opposed to like what a challenger would say. But I think it's kind of like the mid-game sort of decision-making is something that I can help out with the most. Okay. So, left red. I feel like you got to get red if your bots... So, let me go ahead and pause this real quick. I'm going to tell you... So, conventional wisdom with most people, if you're not invading, is you'd get whatever it is on the bot side so that you get a buff first so that your team can help you leash a little bit. And then oftentimes, if you're on red side, you go for golems, because golems are the highest experience and highest gold generating camp. The first clear, they're not. They have reduced experience in gold, but you put them on cooldown faster so you can get back and get that second clear. So I think like a really common clear path for most junglers is going to be, you know, red to golems, and then you have a choice of gank or work your way top. And then a lot of times they'll do like wolves, blue, and then something like scuttle. So I think that's like a good like full clear. You could do raptors on Nunu. Obviously his snowball allows you to take them pretty quickly. So you could just go full clear, you know, like red, golems, this, and then you could do wolves or skip them. I'm not sure of the exact timing. And then blue. You want to make sure that you have your two buffs and you're ready to go at least level 3 by the time scuttle comes up. But that's what I think. And with Nunu, if you start Q, do you have another smite? Did you use one earlier? Okay, you're gonna have it 10 seconds. That's fine. So we'll make sure you have it ready for scuttle. Okay. But I tend to like to take their camp. No. Okay, you definitely want to hold that for scuttle. Because Nunu, like, there's no way they can beat you if you Q plus smite. Your Q will beat them, probably, I think, even at early levels. Okay, nice gank. All right, you got the flash. So we've got until 8 minutes to make a play top. Be careful. Okay, yeah, you can fight him. Turn out and fight him. Ward's strong. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you should definitely be able to get Scuttle now. Yeah, just forget him. Just ping him back. Just let him know you're out of there. Then I'd go grab Scuttle. But yeah, if you have your Smite plus your Q, it's not even close. Like, you 100% will get it every time. If you have your Q, I think you know, probably have like 100 more damage or something on him, but it can get kind of close. Yeah, I wouldn't stop doing Scuttle to gank. I would just make sure you get that Scuttle. And a nice combo here is you hit it, knock it up with your W, and then you chomp it. Or you wait till you get your slow. Okay, you want to wait till you get that stun or that root, and then you chomp it because it does the extra damage. I'm pretty sure it'll do the extra damage. Now, his Q does true damage to minions, but I still feel like it does extra damage if it's knocked up or rooted. It looks like it certainly does a lot more damage. So, once again, I just forget top. Forget it. I mean, I guess maybe you'll get him here. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, it looks like you probably have him. Okay, you finally got him. So you spent a lot of time getting him. You've been up here 3 or 4 times. So you got him, which is good, but like your red and your golems have sat here, you know, unfarmed for 5 minutes. So it's nice, but just imagine, like, your wolves are respawning. So if you already had the golems, like respawned like 2 things of golems. I don't know the exact math on it off the top of my head, but it's probably pretty close to a kill, and almost certainly more experience than a kill. Like, those golems are big business, especially after the first clear on the next couple of clears. Okay. So okay, I would farm. My theory is, like, most games, a lot of games are won and lost on farm rather than kills. I know that's a less sexy, like, way to play it. You might get it. Okay, you got her. That definitely helped. Especially at lower elo brackets, people just don't farm very well. Okay, don't go chase him. Just go get red. Just go get red. Don't do this while he sees that right there. Okay, you have a blast cone. I do like getting dragon early, but you need to use your blast cone to get over there, and you need to have a control word with you. But you want to wait until tactically you know they're probably going to be bot side if you can track them. So, like, his blue's about to come up, so he's going to have 2 buffs by the time you've had 1. What's the farm looking like here? Yeah, so he's ahead of you in farm. And you should almost always be ahead as Nunu, unless it's like... I mean, Nunu's one of the best farmers in the jungle. Hey, what's up, NPC? I think I've got a couple of guides on there. I would say watch some of my jungle coaching sessions if you want. I mean, I'm not a, like I said, I'm not a jungle grandmaster. I think kind of the mid-game decision-making is my best thing. You want to get Gromp here. You need to get your farm before you gank. Because that's guaranteed money and experience. You're just going to fall behind if you don't. So, like, you want to make sure that you're all, like, that you farmed almost everything. And then you gank. Or, like, at least a lot. You always, like, a big part of, like, good jungling is efficiency. Every step, you know, ideally should be working towards whatever your next thing is that you want to do. Don't show top. Because Dragon's up, and there's nothing to do up here. I would just back right now. Just buy something. How much gold do you have? Yeah, you got 1,200 gold. I would just go buy. Now, he's going to be bottom for Scuttle. I would have just bought and prepared yourself for Scuttle. Okay, just go get Scuttle now. It's too late to buy. Yeah, try to use that Q after you stun him. I guess that's, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Morg's looking kind of weak here. Alright, well, if they're just going to sit in that. Okay. Alright, that works. Just go by. Just go by. You're low. Alright. Okay, fair enough. Get golems, get golems, get golems. Just go get golems. Like, either buy or golems. Like, you've got way too much gold right now. You've got, like, 2,000 gold. Yeah, you really want to get those, the tier 2 boots. I think before you get... It depends on how much gold you have when you back, but I think you want to, like, upgrade your item. Your jungling item faster. Because I think I'm pretty sure it gives you bonus experience whenever you kill things. So you want to get that online ASAP because you should be farming a lot. I, 'cause, 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 ' Maybe they got rid of that. They changed the jungle so much. It does give you 40 extra damage on your basic attacks. It helps you clear a hell of a lot. Okay, so you need to be thinking about getting this dragon soon. Somebody use this blast plant, or maybe it just timed out. But yeah, you should try to use that, get a control ward and use that blast plant to try to get the dragon. Because if you jump over this wall, then they won't see it, because a lot of people get greedy and they'll place their ward in river like that, where it doesn't actually see the dragon. And so, like, they can feel like they're safe, and then you take it out from under them. So if you have your flash, especially, I don't know what elo bracket this is, but, you know, usually under diamond, it even works in platinum a lot. If you just, you know, pop over this wall and then just, like, drop a control ward here to make sure the pit itself is not warded, then a lot of times you can just take the dragon right here and they won't even see it. If they do come over and see it, then you can flash out. Okay. Nice. Forces flash, so you got a little bit of, Okay, Hecarim's bottom. I would probably just go see if you can take his jungle. In general, you need to be buying more control wards also, if you have extra money. Like, I would probably, on your last back, I probably would have sold this refillable. Just get control wards, just so you can figure out where he is. Because Nunu's so good at counter jungling, also, that, like, if you see him anywhere on the map, and you know he has camps up, you should go take those camps. Okay, this is probably a pretty good one here. You got priority top. Yeah, so far, I think this is good to get this. I think I would definitely err on the side of farming just a little bit more before you go try to gank. Because I think, like, your conversion percentage on these ganks is, like, less than 50%. Meaning that, like, you didn't get a kill and you didn't get a summoner on probably at least, like, half of these ganks. And that's really, like, it's a huge waste of time if you have camps up. Okay. I don't know where Hecarim is. I think you gotta let him go. Like that, you did get flash out of him. Or no, actually you didn't. He just ran away. He just binded you and ran away. You're gonna get plates up here, which is good. So that's good timing. I probably would have gotten the Gromp first and then run up here though. Like, it doesn't take that long for Nunu to clear these camps. It's like 5 seconds or something when you have level 5 consume. Well, that's... I mean, yeah, he's playing well, but he's not, for the most part, but, you know, he's not donating for coaching for me to say, oh, good job, you know? Like, I'm trying to give the tips to play even better. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like he's doing terribly. He's doing well. I think the biggest thing is just valuing farm more. I mean, some junglers, some, like, challenger junglers go as far as to say, like, they're never going to leave a camp while they're farming it, like, until they clear that camp. I think a lot of them say that. Like, if they're doing golems or something and a fight breaks out bot lane, they're staying to do their golems until they go down there. Red team's turret has been destroyed. I wouldn't do this. You don't have your 80 carry. I think you're just going to get baited. Yeah. Just kind of a waste of time. I would just have gone to go get golems. And then just catch the wave when they push it into bot tower. Yeah, just leave most of this for the 80 carry, I think. Yeah, he's 5 and 4. He's all right. If your 80 carry's not doing so hot, you know, you could take some of their farm, but I think backing sooner, like, or backing more often. Nah, I wouldn't sit here with this. It kind of depends on what's going on. Like, if you're being really efficient with your camps, you're making good plays everywhere, yeah, like maybe waiting until 2,000 gold is fine. But I think a lot of times you need to back a lot sooner. Like as soon as you start completing items, you probably need to back. I might consider getting Dead Man's here first. Like Spirit Visage is really good, but since the map's opened up so much, like there's so many towers that are down, like I would probably get Dead Man's just so you can rotate around the map more. And they did get that dragon, which is really bad. Like you should get every dragon as Nunu. Really bad for your team, that is. But yeah, I think just, like I said, kind of in the early to mid game, just look for like after your first back, once you're like at least level 5, you complete the jungle items, you do that extra damage to camps. Just try to see if you can get that blast plant over here with the control ward, and you can get a pretty early dragon. You know, like 7-minute dragon or something. Okay, nice. Spirit Visage is very tempting because you are, you know, one of the primary tanks here, so it's not necessary. Either way is probably fine. I mean, they have split damage. You know, they've got their Rise and their Corki, which do magic damage mostly, but then they've also got their Caitlyn and their Hecarim. I just like the movement speed, especially if you're really farming a lot. I like that movement speed on Dead Man's. It is good, but I would value the movement speed more right now. I mean, like I said, Spirit Visage is fine. I'd probably get it after Dead Man's, but Dead Man's also allows you to tank things like Baron better, tank towers better. You know, the Caitlyn is probably the biggest threat right now. And the huge thing is the movement speed. Like, especially if you like ganking as much as this Nunu does. I feel the movement speed's really good. Alright, your team's fighting middle. Yeah, you can probably take it. Just tell them to be careful. Like, make sure you're communicating with them that you're getting dragon, and that's probably fine. Speed this up a little bit. Yes, Corki does do AP, but like I said, the Caitlyn and the Hecarim also do a good chunk of damage, especially Caitlyn right now, so I think they're both fine. It's just because there are so many towers missing that I feel like the movement speed and being able to rotate faster, especially if you're going to like be away from your team like this, farming, getting dragons and stuff like that, which I think is good, but like being able to rotate back over there faster to come help your team is good. I just think that movement speed is one of the best stats on a jungler most of the time. I mean, that was the one of the whole things why Talia was so good in jungle for a while there, was because she got all of that extra movement speed early when she stands next to walls. Okay, you might consider rotating, yeah. Yeah, Mord's coming in. Go in, go in, go in. Mord's there. He should ult. He already ult. Oh, his ult's on cooldown. Don't step on the trap. Okay, nice. You got him. Good job. What's up, Colton? Alright, Farming up those wolves. Yeah, and definitely, like, I would just get your blues most of the time. Unless you're like your mid laner's really rocking and they need like a ton of blues. They're like an Anivia or a Rise or something like that. I would just take them as Nunu most of the time. Like, mana management for most champions is not a big deal later into the game. I wouldn't do it. You got Mord's not here. They have a lot of damage. Yeah, another reason to get Deadman's is because you already had Mercs. Because you didn't go Ninja Tabby, so you're just like really light on armor right now. Yeah, they lowered the delay. Like, YouTube has a mandatory delay. I think it's like 10 seconds now. They lowered it a while ago. I mean, Mercs does lower CC, what Lev's saying in chat, but it also has like 25 magic resist on it. It's both. The main thing is that you already have like a half magic resist item, basically. Ooh. Alright, hold on, let me see it, because this shouldn't happen. You have smite? You do have smite. Are you saving your Q? Yeah, he smited too early. So, what you need to do with Nunu is you hold your Q, like once they get to like 3,000 health or something, you hold your Q. Your Q does 980 true damage. And then your smite, I think, are you a higher level than Hecarim? Yeah, you're a higher level than Hecarim too, so you should be able to outsmite him. But you should have like, is that 900, 980 plus 760 is like 1750, something like that damage. So you wait until it gets to about 1750, and then you Q, and while your Q animation is going, then you smite at the same time. So you should be able to smite within 1700. And the most Hecarim's going to be able to get out of his smite right now is 720. So you literally have like more than 2 smites on him. Like, it does look scary because Lux is ulting, but you got to remember that this is support Lux that probably has like 200 AP. I mean, was it on cooldown and the replay system's messing it up? No, you can still smite while you're feared. I mean, I'll go back and look. Yeah, I mean, someone should have been zoning that, but y'all had vision of him right there, so you know he's going to go for it. So yeah, I would not have positioned right here. I would have positioned on this side so that you don't get feared when he ults. The fear will stomp you from being able to chomp, but you still have your smite also. Because you did smite, you just smited early. They both smited, Lev. One went really early and one didn't. At least I'm pretty sure. Well, somebody smited super early. Is his... Yeah, his smite's on cooldown, and... I can't see if Hecarim smite's on cooldown or not, but... There were 2 smites, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think, like, with Nunu, like, usually you don't want a 50-50 when they're around a Baron. Like, you see they're there, and their jungler is not... No one's controlling the jungler. So, yeah, like, Morg should have been zoning him out. Like, a lot of people could have zoned. Thresh could have zoned, could have thrown a hook to at least, like, force him to ult early if he wanted to ult. You know, there are a lot of things your teammates could have done, but... Just positioning yourself on the other side of the Baron if you're going to go for that play. And then just, like I said, queuing plus smiting at the same time when Baron's at like 1700 health should be virtually impossible to steal. Like, they'd have to steal it in like the 100th of a second between your Q animation and your smite finishing. Yeah, they did fear you at 2k, but that's what I'm saying. You should have positioned on the other side of the Baron so that he would not be able to reach you with the fear. You were standing on the right side instead of the left side of the Baron. Yeah, I mean, y'all are still in a good position, but I just figured that was a good chance to just bring up the combo with Nunu, with the Q smite. I would definitely get an armor item, like... I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to matter in this game, so your team is just destroying them, but... Most likely, but I think this is definitely overkill on the magic resist. With adapt, like... Spirit Visage plus Mercury Treads is enough, I think. Like, they still have Caitlyn and they still have Hecarim, who do a lot of damage. Hey, what's up, Focus, Ezreal? Well, we lost our first game tonight, which is not amazing, but... We're doing a coaching session here real quick, and then we're gonna get back on the grind. You back to Masters yet, or what, man? Yeah, King Scuttle's fine. I would start working top lane. Like, there's not really, like, pushing in mid is good, but yeah, you should be rotating over to top. I think you definitely need to buy control wards, so I don't think I've seen you buy any control wards. It's really important, it's pretty much every role to buy control wards. But, especially as the jungler, like, it's because you have an opportunity to get deep wards in their jungle, particularly as someone like Nunu who counter jungles so well. You have really good opportunities to, like, get quality vision for your team. And it helps you out with your gank so much, too. So you can help clear out vision and add a lot of extra pressure to the map. So, like, control wards are fantastic. You should definitely be buying a lot of control wards. Helps you take early dragons and things like that. I mean, the control ward's the most OP item in the game. Because vision is just so strong. Like, vision makes everything happen. It allows you to get, like, game-winning picks. It allows you to get objectives. It allows you to get quality ganks. Control wards not only give vision, but deny vision. Like, vision is extremely strong. For everybody, not just supports. I mean, every role should be getting a lot of vision, but particularly supports in jungle. Okay. Nice. How many... Alright. Y'all just win here? I mean, maybe Caitlyn can clear. I know, like, control wards can feel like attacks, but think of it more like an investment, right? It's more like buying stocks than buying lotto tickets, like good quality stocks. You know, you're like, yes, you're paying 75 gold, but if you clear out an enemy ward, that automatically denies them 75 gold, and you get 30 gold on top of it. So that right there, you're gaining if you clear an enemy ward with it. But then also just think of like everything that it does for 75 gold. Like if you just get a kill off of it, you know, that's 450 gold. You know, kill plus assist off like a standard kill. So you're investing 75. So even if the control ward and the vision control, you know, oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Y'all are gonna get caught here. I guess, just walk around here. Try not to get caught, but just, like, stand around. Just don't get snared, but just look scary, and they might stop. And I'll finish my thought here in a second. See, if you had a control ward, you could ward over this. Oh, they got it. But, like, even if it works 1 out of 6 times for a kill, just simple, you get a gank off because of control wards. It paid for itself, right? So you're getting 450 gold for your team. You invested 450 for those wards. So even if you buy 6 control wards in a game and you just get 1 extra gank off, or you save your ally from dying 1 extra time, it paid for itself. Let alone, you know, if you get a kill plus a tower, or a kill plus a plate, or kill plus objective like a dragon, or whatever, you know, it's really, really easy to get, like, really good payout for 75 gold. It's just not immediate a lot of the time. So it doesn't look like it's that powerful, but it really is. But just like, you know, an ally knowing they're safe could be more aggressive in the lane. Or if you see the enemy jungler on a ward, for example, you see him trying to gank bottom, it not only saves bot lane, but you know where he is. So then you can go counter jungle or counter gank. It just opens up so many opportunities for your team. Ooh, I don't know about going for this. I think you're too alone. You're probably going to get away, but the thing is, like, the rest of your team doesn't have any pressure. I guess you're wasting their time, but just be careful because your team's not doing anything really productive on the map. I don't know why this is glitching out where we just have, like, random vision. Hey, what's up, Jake? Yeah, I think you're just being way too risky. I mean, this is like you are wasting their time, and I think it's a bit too cute. Yeah. They caught you, they got shutdown gold, and your team's not going to get anything in exchange. Like, you are stalling for Baron, but if you just push a wave and then run away, like, that also stalls for Baron, you know? Yeah, what Erickson said, too, is control wards can be great bait, especially, I know Erickson plays a lot of Zyra. There's just so many uses for control wards. Like, there's a reason that they've nerfed Vision, like, you know, in the past 4 years, they probably nerfed Vision 10 times. Alright, well, at least they're not doing anything that productive. What else you got? Okay, you got the Dead Man's Play, that's good. I think, honestly, at this late in the game, since you've taken this long to get an armor item, I probably would have just gotten Randuin's. The main reason for that is they have 2 different users that are going to be critting. You've got Corki and Caitlyn. Now, the benefit to Randuin's versus Caitlyn is obvious. You know, the crit reduction is amazing. Don't forget that, like, when it says that crits do 20% less damage, that's not just on the crit damage. That's on the base damage as well. So if they would crit you for 500 and you have a Aranduins, then they would only crit you for 300 before armor checks. So it's really, really good against critical users. Now, you don't have Morg, so you gotta be careful here, but Mordekaiser's really strong. Yeah, I think that was probably a bad fight. But don't forget with Corki, even though he does magic damage, it doesn't say that the crits are reduced only for physical damage. Like, he's critting for a lot of magic, but it reduces the damage on the magic portion as well because it still counts as a crit. So it's good against both of them. Yeah, I would not fight this. Like, anytime you're about to start a fight, you got to open up the minimap or just, like, look at the minimap, the bottom right, and see where people are. You've got Morgana over here. She doesn't have teleport. She's clearing this wave. You got Mordekaiser, who's in the base. Yeah, I would just back up here. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess I came back and got this. Alright, so this one's definitely winnable. Okay, so what were the biggest points here? Then we'll get back into rank for people that are, you know, watching the stream here. Okay, so number one, prioritize your camps more. Like, just make sure that you're clearing those camps out. You did get some good ganks, but just think about, like, the Rise gank. Like, how much time did you spend top lane to get that kill on the Rise? Now, it did pay off eventually, but you probably spent, like, a minute and a half, something like that. You tried to gank him, like, 3 or 4 times. And, you know, in that minute, because you still had camps up. I don't remember. I know that you had Red up and Golems up, and I think for a lot of that time, Gromp might have been available as well. And you could have counter jungled Hecarim, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, a kill is probably worth, I mean, it depends on how much, like, your laner is able to deny in terms of CS and things like that. It's worth more than camps, but, like, camps are a lot more reliable income. I think 2 camps are probably worth about half a kill or so, and they're guaranteed. So, and I'm pretty sure they give more experience. So you just want to make sure, there were several times that we talked about earlier where you want to make sure your jungle is clear. Unless it's like 100% you're going to get a kill. Like, I think going up that first time when you saw the top laner overextended and you got his flash, I think that was a good one, because it was like, boom, okay, you got the flash, go back to work, get back in the jungle. You know, you could have done Gromp, then you could have backed, you know, maybe like upgraded your jungle item, and then go back, grab golems, grab red, you know, and then I think that your raptors and your wolves are back up. So then you could have gone back, you know, grabbed your item, and then you probably could have cleared golems, red, wolves, and been back to top lane in not quite as fast as you were there, but pretty close. I think that in the time that you were kind of messing around up there, trying to gank him multiple times, I feel like you probably could have done golems, red, and raptors in that time. And then you could still come back up there and gank him later. His flash is down for 5 minutes, so then that way you're being really efficient with your camps and your time. I think that you could have definitely tried the dragon a lot faster. I mentioned earlier, if that blast cone is up in your jungle and you buy a control ward, you control ward the dragon pit. You see there is not a ward in there, then you can blast cone over, potentially take that dragon early. A good time to do this is if you know they're going to be top lane. So, like, when the second buff spawns, you get your second buff, especially if Scuttle is topside or if there's no Scuttle up, you can get your second buff and then get the dragon, because a lot of times people are just going to do their camps in order again, right? And if he started doing, you know, his blue buff on bot side, then Gromp, then Wolves, and worked his way top, you know he's going to be busy with that. So then you can get your red and then go get the dragon if there's no vision on it while he's doing his route once his buff comes up. You know, you got to think about it a little bit. If your bot lane is overextended or something like that, he might come down there to gank it. You know, be careful with that. But that's a great time to try to sneak that dragon in. It's like right after you get your jungle item upgraded so it does the extra damage, and then once you have your level 3 consume, you can get it pretty quickly. And if you still have your flash, you have a good opportunity to escape as well if he does happen to come down there. But obviously don't do it if you know, Scuttle is nearby, or if you think he you know, might come through the river for whatever reason. Consider not doing it. But even if you get it low, right, because you're Nunu, you can always consume smite it. You're going to be guaranteed to get it, and then you can flash over the wall and get away. So I think trying to go for earlier dragons probably would have been good. But definitely like prioritizing those camps over some of those ganks would have been great. I think the way that the game had shaped up, because your team was really far ahead at one point, you had a couple of towers down, the map was opening up, that I would have gotten dead mans earlier, because that extra movement speed really allows you to travel between the camps faster and allows you to get off some really good ganks, especially lane ganks. When like their team's going to be overextending because they don't have their towers available and they're not going to respect that, and they're still going to push up without the safety of those towers, I think that makes something like Dead Man's Plate really appealing. And they did have some good AD damage. I mean, they had Hecarim, they had Caitlyn. So I think that would have been good. Like, Spirit Visage is good. I would have probably gotten it second, but just because you get that extra move speed, you get that extra utility, I probably would have gone Dead Man's. If it had been, like, a closer game and if all the lanes were up, or, like, all the lanes were still available, no towers were down yet, and maybe, like, the Rise was fed or the Corki was fed, yeah, maybe Spirit Visage there, but I think because the lanes were down and the most fed person at that point was Caitlyn, I probably would have done Dead Man's to help keep snowballing even more. I mean, I guess that's a terrible pun, but, like, literally and figuratively allow you to snowball more to make more plays with that Dead Man's. So I think that was good. We talked a lot about the Baron. You know, just directing your team to try to zone off the enemy jungler is a good idea, and positioning yourself in that instance versus Hecarim on the other side of the Baron so that I don't think he's going to reach that far to be able to fear you, or just call it off. You know, if you're just not sure about it, if you're afraid that they're going to get in there and to get it, just call it off. Like, you were ahead. You don't need to risk a Baron. If you think it's going to be 50-50, if you're afraid you're going to get feared or whatever, I think it was possible to secure it if you're on the other side of Baron, and then you do the Q plus smite that we talked about before. I don't think anyone's going to beat your 1700 smite effectively. But if you're not comfortable with it or whatever in that instance, I mean, it's always possible they could, I guess. I guess he could flash and then ult you to fear you so you couldn't consume, and then maybe Lux Laser plus smite could do it. I don't know. If you're, like, worried that you're not going to be able to get it, then you can just always call it off and just look for a better opportunity. So you're asking what lost us the game? Several of these things, I think. I'm just focusing on, like, what you could do. I mean, obviously, like, your teammates, there were lots of things. Like, Varus could have not died 11 times. Like, there's a lot of stuff. But I think the biggest thing was not getting ahead enough early because you were missing camps and kind of had some inefficient farming, like not getting dragons early, sacrificing mobility of the Dead Man's Plate to get Spirit Visage earlier. Them stealing the Baron was pretty rough. And then later on in the game, just your run-of-the-mill, like, I think you were trying to stall, like, their Baron out by, like, running around, but then they caught you and killed you. That was a huge thing. You lost a lot of tempo on the map when that happened. So you don't want to run up and, you know, try to, like, it does distract them, but you don't have anything else you're doing. You know, if your Mordekaiser was pushing for a tower, or, like, your team was, you know, pushing up middle or doing something else on the map, then distracting can be a good thing. It may be worth the risk. But if they're not doing anything, then it's not worth the risk. You're just kind of risking yourself to distract them, and your team's not doing anything useful. So getting caught there was pretty rough. Then, of course, like, the most obvious one in the end game was y'all fought a 3v5 right here when Morgana didn't have her teleport. And, yeah, you weren't the person who got caught. I think it was probably the Varus or the Thresh. I'm not sure. But y'all shouldn't have even been close enough. Sometimes just being close will, like, bait your team into baiting you. I think that's what happened. Y'all were all just kind of baiting each other over here into that fight, right? Like, Thresh was sitting there with Varus, and then you're like, oh, those two guys might try to make a play. I'll stand here also. And then Thresh tries to make a play because he sees you there. And it's like all of you are encouraging your bad habits here of fighting this 3v5, which can only be a 4v5 if Mordekaiser joins. Whereas if you just ran away and did something else, maybe Thresh gets the message and like doesn't try to make that play, or Varus or whoever got caught. And then even if they do make the play, you're at least alive. You're on the map. You can help wave clear. You can go push a separate lane to try to delay the game out. You just don't want to get baited into these fights. You always want to look at the minimap and just always try to fight even fights, or even better, uneven fights in your favor. So you want to force the 5v3s or the 4v3s, but never fight an underdog fight. Anyways, that's going to be it for this replay. We can talk about it some more. I'm going to put us back in queue, though. But for anyone else out there watching, if you'd like a coaching session, you can email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. It's just $25. I'll review it on stream if you're a channel member through the YouTube join button or through PayPal. Then it's $5 off. It's just $20. You can watch more videos in the playlist that I'll have linked in the description. This is going to be the 180th something coaching session I have on the channel. So we've got a lot of content there if you want to watch kind of this closer play-by-play analysis. I've got a picture of the champion that's getting played as well, so you can find your favorite champions and just sort of skip through it and see. I mean, stuff changes from patch to patch, but I think the play style of most champions, unless they've had a major rework, is going to be similar. So I think you can still learn a lot of stuff from older videos as well, if you want to look back there for some of your favorite champs also. But that's going to be it. We are streaming right now. The stream is going to continue. If you'd like to join the stream, it starts every night starting around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to have you. Be sure to check out the tier list and the guides on the channel as well. We just have tons and tons of content. I'm always releasing more, and I try to be as interactive as possible with the chat and be as helpful, as friendly as we can be. We have an awesome community. We'd love to have you join us. So come check it out, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.